Today we have the environmental portrait challenge, and I'm really excited to try this out. I'm going to try to capture some portraits of somebody outside, out in the environment. And to do that, I want to do a couple of things. First of all, let's talk about what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a D850, so large sensor camera, and I've got two lenses. I've got the 35mm f1.4, and I've got the 85mm f1.4. And I really want to try to shoot these wide open if I can at f1.4. So I want to try to get these blurry backgrounds. The other thing that I want to do is I want to use an off-camera flash. So I'm going to try to put a flash on a softbox and put it off camera. The issue is that if I'm shooting at f1.4 and it's outside in the sun, I'm going to get really fast shutter speeds over 2/50th of a second. And 2/50th of a second is the point where I can have regular synced photographs. After that, I have to use high speed sync and I have to use my flash. I have to put it really close to my subject, and it really limits what I can do. So what I've chosen to do is, my model is a basketball player. We're gonna go to an undercover court, which is gonna allow me to use, I don't have to be out in the sun. And I should be able to use an aperture of f1.4 and my flash. And one of the things I'm gonna try to do is underexpose the background so I can take a meter reading, get ready to take a picture, and then I can either, if I'm in aperture mode, I can just use exposure compensation and subtract maybe 1 or 2 stops of exposure, depending what it looks like. Or I might try going into just manual mode and exposing manually, and then allowing the flash to light my subject. So should be a lot of fun. I'm looking to try a few different things. Let's see how it goes. Let's give it a shot. Okay, the first shot I want to try to do is I want to try to use this flash to light my subject. So I'm going to underexpose the background and I'm going to overpower with the flash. And let's see if we can make that work. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shot and have no flash and see if I can darken the background. Stay there, yeah. Okay, nice and dark. I'm going to get you to come a bit forward, a little bit forward. Yeah, that's good. Test the flash. Okay, now let's just test with the flash. See what the light looks like. Not too bad. Get the flash a little bit closer. Again. Watching my background. And that light nice and close. Okay. Let's try a dribble. Yep. That was good. Again. Try to get that higher up. Try to touch the ground with your other hand. That was it. Now turn a bit more to, yeah, there we go.
Should I look at you?
Yeah, you can look at me. Keep the pose down there. Yeah, that was good. Let me show you what it's looking like. It actually looks pretty good, right? Now what I'm going to try is using the flash, getting nice and close. I'm in a wider angle lens, a 35mm lens. I'm going to try actually a couple different lenses, but in this position, try to get a quick portrait. Closer the light, the softer it will be. Okay, I'm just going to switch lenses really quick. Same thing. Same one. Pull the ball on your side. That's the one. Now, the back background there is providing a bit of a problem. I want it to be low so that she looks more imposing. But when I get low, I have that white line. So I just have to accept that and deal with it. For this shot, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to be shooting from over on this side over here. Got the light there, so I want to shoot down this angle here and have the flash quite close as I can get it without being in the frame. Try some different poses, see what we can do with the light underexposed on the camera, and then the flash, get the correct exposure. So let's see what that looks like. Well, sort of like, yeah, that's it. Good. Keep working, try something else. Just going to overpower with this flash. And so select. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to have the backlight just flooding in here and overpower the scene. We'll see if we can make that work. So I'm just going to quarter manual power. Let's see what we get with that. That's it. The light is just, it's a bit flat for me. I want it to be a bit more dramatic, and I'm trying to think about how I can do that. One of the things I might there we go. This is the light I like. This is where I've got it, finally. All there. Okay, I want to show you where live view can be really helpful in composing this image. Now, I've had a flash over here, but right now, when I look at this, there's a lot of light coming from over on that side, and it's just beautiful light. Now, I could put a flash in there, but take a look. That light is just amazing. So, I don't need to make things any more complicated. I can just shoot this. Okay, ready? Actually, I'm going to take this a few different ways. This looks really nice. I'm going to have a lot of the floor here, which is going to be completely blurry, and it's this beautiful gray. So now what I want you to do is just do something. Yeah, look at me. Down on the ground, maybe. You don't have to look at it. You can look up. Yeah, that's nice. Look at me. And look at me. Okay, what I'm going to try to do is really want a reflection, so I've put some water down here. The key is to get my lens close to the edge of this water. I'm using an 85mm lens, so I'm not sure how much depth of field I'm going to need, but I'm going to let this light on the side, this natural light coming in, try to make my picture. I'm not going to use a flash for this one. So let's give it a shot. So my reflection on the environmental portrait challenge. I had a lot of fun. I was able to get the shutter speeds that I wanted, being undercover, and it wasn't really a sunny day, so that worked out really well. At some point, I was mostly using this SU800, which sends a signal but not a flash, and sometimes it wasn't getting to my flash. So one of the things I did was I adjusted by just taking this off and putting a second flash on my camera, and then pointing that at where my softbox was attached to my flash was attached. So I might have tilted it or moved it or pointed towards that, and that worked out really well. So that was a lot of fun, worked really well. One of the things that happened was at one point I wasn't using the flash. I was sort of setting up and I was using live view, and I noticed that actually, because with live view, it shows you a live darkness and brightness of your image. And so when I was setting up, there was some light coming through on this opening, and it was actually really beautiful. When I sort of underexposed the background, my subject was properly exposed with these beautiful highlights. So took some pictures there, took some reflections there, and I didn't worry about flash. When it did come to flash, one of the things that I always did was I put it in manual mode. I didn't use TTL. Sometimes with TTL, it might see something and it gets darker and brighter from one shot to the next. So I just set it in manual mode, and on the back of my flash or on my commander, I set the exposure and I was able to adjust it from my camera, which was really great and easy. But I just set it in manual mode, set it on a tripod, and then had my subject there. And when I got the right amount of light, I knew that I didn't have to do anything. I could move forwards and backwards. As long as my flash and the softbox didn't move and my subject didn't move closer or further, then I could use different lenses. I could do whatever I wanted. So that was something that I found really, really great. Overall, I had a lot of fun. It's something that I highly recommend, underexposing that background a bit, having the flash be that main light. Looking forward to looking deeper into those photos and seeing them a bit closer. So I hope you enjoyed it, and give it a shot.